Hi guys, and we're back for another review. This time it's on Magmatron. Well, it's on all of them, but this is just one piece of Magmatron. That's right, if you know who Magmatron is, you know he's three beast forms that combine into one beast mode. First we'll talk about his pterodactyl, since it's the smallest and easiest for me to handle first. But little backstory first, well not backstory, but little information. Mine is the official Japanese one, but you can get if you just bear with me. He was also released for a series called Dinobots, which was just a lot of the Beast War Neo Dinosaur figures re-released as Maximals. I don't know why, they didn't really change. I think they were just bringing it over to America and they didn't want to have to think about where these figures came from as a story concept. But anyway, back onto the figure. The pterodactyl is very nice, though he does have quite a fat belly, I think, but it's obvious for when he's transformed. He's got quite nice movement in his neck and quite a good beak. Also, if you pull the back of his tail with a bit of effort, his wings move forward like that, which is quite nice. And like many of the other Beast Wars Neo figures, he has the classic Predacon symbol on his wing. Strangely enough though, the Dinobot one, I've got a picture on my computer screen here, and it also shows the Predacon symbol, even though the profile for him says that he's a Maximal. So you can tell that Hasbro or whoever released that line of figures just didn't think about changing anything. They just shoved on a Maximal label and shipped the figure out as soon as they could. That's the pterodactyl anyway. Next we have whatever this is called. I'll be honest, I'm not a big dinosaur person, but it's some kind of sea dinosaur. Good long neck with lots of ball joints in it, which can make it a bit loose sometimes. Well, mine's a bit loose, but it does give you a lot of good ways to position it for articulation. Unfortunately, that's all that really moves on this figure. The only extra feature is, well, his mouth moves as well. Only other feature is if you pull his little back fins, his front fins move forward like he's swimming. Again, he's nicely coloured, but there's not a lot to him. There's really nothing you can say. I don't like this bottom connection bit. It's quite fat and it sticks out a lot more than any of the other joints on him, but I suppose that's so you can tilt his neck back or forward and it gives you a bit more range to it. Anyway, I'm not too fond of that one. This one is my favourite one, and it's the T-Rex one. He's nice, but he looks better when you have his mouth open, I think, to when it's closed. I can't remember because it's been so long since I've looked at the instructions for this, but if you open his mouth you can see there is some kind of missile area in there, and I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure you can shove a missile down his throat there and he'll shoot it when you pull his head back. This figure has the most movement range out of the other two. He's got good leg joints that are very stiff, which is really good for posing and stuff. And then he's got these tiny little dinosaur arms, which don't do a lot, but they do enough. All in all, these beast modes are quite good, but they're only part of a greater figure. Again, I'm not going to show you his Chimera mode, or whatever it's called, because I think it looks crap. If you want to have a look at it, I'd recommend going on to CobraIslandToys.com, and they've got a picture of it, but it's not really worth doing a review about because it's not that good. But anyway, I'll be back in a bit with Magmatron transformed, so I'll see you. And we're back, and here he is, Magmatron in all of his glory, and he is a very impressive figure. What I didn't mention last time was each of his beast forms has its own symbol on it. The aqua marine one has one in the arm there, and the dinosaur has one in the sword, which came out of his throat, surprisingly. A very good figure, a good looking figure. I do like how they're able to combine 3 beast modes into one to make this a very impressive looking figure. However, because he is 3 beast modes, they have had to make a few sacrifices. It's hard to show, but for instance, there is quite a significant gap there. For some reason, it's not just mine, but it's the way it's supposed to transform. This arm doesn't seem to lock into place properly, so I wouldn't recommend having a child play with it and pulling it a lot, because it could come loose eventually with enough force. Also, because of the T-Rex head here and the wings, it limits Magmatron's head movement, so he can't look to the left. He can only look to the right. And even if he could look to the left, to do that you need to unclip these feet from his chest to give him the ability to move his head, and even then it's not that smooth, which is a bit of a shame for if you like posing figures. Also, the arm doesn't have a lot of movement in it. It just has one point of articulation there. So if you want him to hold his gun up straight ahead, you have to literally move the entire arm forward to do it. But those are a few bad points, but all in all, he's a really good figure, because he has quite a lot of good features, and every bit of his beast modes is used to the maximum. The underside of the sea creature is used for his shield, and you turn the fins the other way around, and then they become like pincers instead of for the swimming motion, which is quite nice. The head for it is supposed to be like if you've seen the Alien films, you'll know that they have a little mouth thing that comes out. I assume it's kind of like that. It's supposed to help in battle for light range and stuff. I'll just put him down a moment. His sword can be held that way, or it's got another little feature where you just, whoops, there goes a rocket. You can pull down an extra handle and use it as a gun, and as you saw, the blade just fired away there, which I'll need to pick up later. Another problem though is because Magmatron's hands don't really seem to be suited to hold this gun, it can be quite an effort to shove it in there, because he's got quite a large thumb, if you can see that. All in all, he's a very good figure. I wouldn't pay what I had for him. I think I paid about 40 quid, but you can probably get the Dinobots version cheaper maybe, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. I definitely recommend him, even though he does have quite a few bad points. The good points make up for that. Get this figure. He's an excellent piece to your collection, and if you've read any of the Beast Wars, The Gathering or Ascension, you'll know that Magmatron's a pretty damn kick-ass character in those IDW issues, and that's why I bought him. So until next time, I'm not sure who I'm doing next. I've only got one more Maximal to do because I'm missing a few. But until then, good seeing you guys. Enjoy.